Kevin De Bruyne kind of player who sees and who knows where players are without having to hold the ball too much.
Okay, I'm going to come back to you. Let me just say hi to Bobby. And just to remind you that we had De Bruyne for free. Imagine if social media and all the vibes and bars were back then. I don't know what kind of names they were going to call him for, because he didn't really had so many good games. He was okay, but people called him bad attitude and all that. I'm just wondering back then if social media was this way of today, what people were going to say about De Bruyne, because we are not patient at all. Bobby Smokey, brother, talk to me.
I think Orgs had. I mean, let's be real. Personally, I've got to that stage where I'm not in the give Graham Potter a chance and he'll do this, he'll do that. Yes, he will get a chance. Yes, he should get a chance. The truth of the matter is nothing's changed. And the reason, he played a bit differently, but nothing's changed. And the reason nothing's changed is that the reality is that the problem is the midfield and the attack. The midfield is bad. N'Golo Kante has papered over the cracks for years, and he can't do it anymore. Kovacic tried to a certain extent, but he was the man. Now he's out injured. We can clearly see that Chelsea FC have no midfield, and as a result, they have no attack. Aubameyang is not it. Brugge is young, and he's learning his trade, and he needs to learn his trade. The only somewhat attacker that we've got is Raheem Sterling, but he can't do it all.
Yeah.
The team needs an overhaul. It is down to the players. The players are not good enough. I don't want to hear anything else about Hakim Ziyech and his left foot, and he needs to play on the wing. Hakim Ziyech is not a good player. He's not up to the standard of player that is needed at Chelsea. It's that simple. I mean, the chance he missed was embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing. He had the chance. He had the time to even trap the ball before hitting it, and he just fluffed it. It's just poor quality. And as a result of that, the defense gets put under so much pressure that when they make a mistake, is crucial. We rely on defenders to score goals. Who does that? We rely on defenders to operate the midfield. It's great. Graham Potter's not going to do any magic with those players. I think someone has to be brave here. I don't know if that director of football was making notes about Chelsea or Leipzig in the stands that we saw on our screens. But the truth is, somebody has to be brave here. Someone has to be brave. And the bravery is, Jorginho, you're not good enough. Go, mate. Thanks for the whatever, but go. You're not good enough. Kante has to stay, as far as I'm concerned. But we have to manage his injury, because we're not going to get him all the time. We have to bring in midfielders. Go for Alvarez. We wanted. I don't know why he hasn't played Zakaria, because playing Zakaria right now, for me, is better than pretending we've got this great player in J5. He's a fraud. His balls are all backwards, sideways. He inhibits the play. Nothing forward, nothing, intentional. It's a shambles. It's really, really bad. It's bad.
And also, it means sometimes when I keep my eyes on what Jorginho does in the field, it's kind of like he's trying to be the player who creates. Like a lot of time, he's trying to put those long passes and his true passes, but it's just like it's not even enough.
Jorginho is deceiving everybody and himself. And why these coaches keep thinking he's doing something for that team, it's beyond me. It's beyond me. He may as well not be there. You know, don't play this guy. If we're going to be deficient in midfield, okay, let's be deficient, but let's not pretend we've got someone that's doing something. I think the midfield did better when he was off.
You know, I think maybe the reason why they play him is because these passes that he makes, right? Who else in our midfields could do that? Who come close to like?
It doesn't matter.
Those passes that Jorginho does, like he's trying to change the ball.
What passes?
Like sometimes, right? He takes his time to want to like lob the ball on top of a defense or play these through passes. Like I realize when Loftus-Cheek have this kind of balls, he doesn't do it. He turns and dribbles. When we have players like Mount, it barely gets to the other players because they were intercepted. When we got players like Kante do that a lot of times, but he drives and take on players attacking straight. I've been keeping my eyes on the character Jorginho plays, and that's what I'm realizing. Those long passes, those like creative passes that he makes sometimes, right? I do not see nobody else in our midfield trying to do those.
Yeah, but like for example,
sorry, Bobby. Let me say hi to another brother here, DJ. I can see you. I'm not ignoring you. You can jump whenever you feel like.
Good evening, guys. Good evening, guys. What can I say, mate? You know, I said we need to win this game today. Never happened. I hear echo. Who's echo? Who's got?
Victor.
That's better.
Victor, I'm muted you, please.
That's all right.
Please fix your mic. I muted you from my side, but you have to fix your mic. Go on, DJ.
Yeah, I said we needed to win this game today. Look, I mean, the team. I mean, they played. I guess they didn't. We didn't do it, but I'm not also going to complain altogether about the performance today. I thought, we did okay. As usual, it was just converting our chances when they came to us, and again, we didn't do that. Disappointed obviously because we're bottom of our group, which makes it, it's making it harder now for us because we got Milan back-to-back games now, home and away, and we've really got I don't even want to think about that.
We're not going to win those games.
I know the way it's looking.
I look at the reality. Look, whatever Potter does will not solve the problems of the team.
Yeah.
It's not going to help the midfield, and it's not going to help the fact that we don't have strikers apart from Sterling.
Yeah,
it's done. And
then we have players with less ability. That's also what comes to what I was saying the other day. I mean earlier, the passes, the reading, the movements. There's not a lot of our players who do that. It's kind of like we have players with characters who do the same thing all the time, who have the same moves and the same kind of like movements. Like Sterling, yes, he's the one who travels the ball. That's his character. Jorginho, pass it back, pass it right, pass it left. That's his character. Kovacic, turn and take on players. And it's like we don't have nothing more different than that compared to other teams who have players that could almost do a lot of different skills and a lot of different movements because it's unpredictable.
Okay, so Mr. Victor, you have a lot of background noise. I'm gonna listen to you right now, but let me read some comment on YouTube so everybody can feel part of the show. Mr. Chelsea Blues say that I'm happy Liverpool game is off. Probably we needed to play those games just to see what's going on. Probably we were going to win this game if we played against Fulham. I didn't want to play against Fulham, but now I'm thinking maybe the manager is trying different things, but probably it's not time to try though, because I don't think the same formation or the same players are gonna continue to play the next game and then the next game. But it is what it is. Santiago said that Pulisic playing well today. How many minutes? He was there like for 5 minutes or 6 minutes. So I'm not gonna even look at him. We had the chances: Brugge, ZH, Havertz, Oba, and Mount. There is too much dead wood, according to Mr. Sport Adam. Porto at least need 1 year. We can't be without top 4 years. 1 year is too much for Chelsea Football Club. And don't say that ZH is not. This is Mr. Phil here trying to start a fight here. I never said. I'm not like an extremist. Like, I always find the middle, and I always give the benefits of the doubt to everybody, and I will continue to give people. That's the way I am in life. So don't push me to the edge and say, oh, don't say anything. Everybody is welcome here. I don't block people. I call people. You love spending 100 million. I love my academy product. We all support the same team. We don't have to fight. So I love certain players in a personal level. That is normal. So you don't have to try to make stories about me because you don't know me. That's all I can say. I have the right to like or not like certain people. But at the end of the day, if they play for my team, I support everybody. You know, I give even Jorginho the benefit of the doubt always. I defend him 24/7, and I criticize him also fairly. That's the way I am, and you have to take it, because I am not going to lean to the popular opinion because everybody is repeating, copying, and pasting the same reaction on social media. For me, I see things from a different perspective. This is a clean... wait. So... if you're gonna come here and continue to make on social media, you keep on insulting me every single day, I leave you that way. Here you come to my channel, you continue to say the same old crap. So at some point I'm gonna be like tired of you and block you. I don't block people because I think it's democracy. Everybody need to talk. That is the reason why I open my channels. It's just for people to talk. Okay? Without insulting anybody. You're not gonna see me curse, you're not gonna see me attack anybody. I'm just doing my thing on my own way. You agree or not, it's okay. Victor, go on. Victor, are you still there? No?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can hear you now.
Is it clear?
Yes.
I don't know. This is this manager's first game, so I don't think we should heap a lot of blame on his head, his poor head, you know. But what baffles me is his selection. The first 11 he selected today. I mean,
please don't start with Jorginho. Please don't start.
I'm not going to start with Jorginho. Yeah. We all know Jorginho. A lot has been said about Jorginho, but we also know. I mean, I probably will end up there, because we know that he was the only one in that team in the midfield that was not subbed. And it is beginning to register in a very weird way what we see in other teams, and how prolific, how expensive, how penetrating, how from the midfield all the way to the attackers, everybody contributes massively to their chances, their creativity, except for Chelsea. Yet, 1, 2, 3 managers think that this man is the man that should control our destiny from the middle. I will stop right there, because you know what, I can go on all night about Jorginho. But besides Jorginho, the other players, we all have seen it for a long time, that Kai is not clicking, that Mount is really off today, on tomorrow, off today. And we should at least give other people the chance. That's why I said, I'm going to give this manager a chance, personally. I'm going to think that he will come around, he will watch the video tonight, watch
many points can you put on the table? And so before the game, I did say we needed 3 points. Now we're bottom of the table. My problem is on the first 11, like Victor was saying, you look at the first 11 and you can't understand why, even though Koulibaly was having a few missteps, why Azpilicueta should be put on the pitch while Koulibaly is fully fit. Even a half-fit Koulibaly is better than a fully fit Azpilicueta right now. We love Azpilicueta. He's giving so much to the club. But that defense, if you didn't play Fofana, but at least you could have played Koulibaly, especially when you want to play a back four. You can have a back four where the central defenders are Silva and Azpilicueta. Some of the other guys up front, I am one of those that want Mount and Havertz to be benched. But you bring on Pulisic and Ziyech, and they were not even any better. Yes, let's rotate the players, but even those that come on for these players that we want to be benched are not even performing. Ziyech cannot even lift the ball over the first player, the opponent in front of him, over and over and over again. I don't know whether his heart is still in Chelsea or not, but we can't wait for January to come so we can get the rest of the deadwood out. If you're not willing to play for Chelsea, then by God, good riddance, you know. We want people that are committed, that can put their heart and soul into these games. Why wait for 5 minutes to go? Why wait for 83rd minute to start passing without, thinking twice? That's what we want to see from the get-go. So okay. I'll just let other people speak, but hey, we got to give the manager a chance. But these players have to step up. They need to step up or go to the bench. Let's bring in those that haven't had a chance. If these guys can perform, let's play Zakaria. Let's play Chukwuemeka. Let's play anybody that is willing to put in the runs.
Yeah, that's understandable. So I'm gonna go around. DJ been very quiet. DJ, what do you think about our? Let's start by the bottom, right? Let's start by the goalkeeper and our defenders. You can choose whatever you want to talk there, and then we're gonna move to somebody else. We talk about goalkeeper, defenders, and we go to the midfield, and we're gonna finish in the attack, and then we close the show.
Yeah, I just want to say one thing before I go on to that, Augs. I don't know if you guys heard today. I mean, it was only my friend Tommy because he was at Stamford Bridge. He was just telling me that Christopher Freud at Stamford Bridge, Salzburg sporting director, in advanced talks with CFC to take on a similar role. Graham Potter expected to speak with him over the next coming days. Apparently, Todd Bowley is driven by the background and the fact he's worked within the multi-club model. So it looks like we're looking at this new sporting director at Salzburg today. So I don't know how long that's going to go for, when it's going to happen. But he looks like he's in the frame now to be the next sporting director.
He was at the bridge taking notes today.
Yeah.
They showed him.
Yeah. On what you just saying, look, I'm not going to knock Kepa today. I thought Kepa had a decent game today. I'm not usually one of Kepa's. I thought he did well when he needed to. He saved that one chance when they had that shot. And then obviously the goal went in, which I won't blame him for. I won't blame him for that, because again it was a lapse of concentration, I think, from Cucurella. No, Thiago Silva first, and then Cucurella, and then obviously they scored. Look, I mean, generally today I thought, I thought the defence they played okay. Apart from that lot, obviously conceding that goal. Midfield, I thought, I'm not going to say not too bad about the midfield. J5, I still think, he played a couple of nice passes in the box today. Shame Aubameyang couldn't finish them. But who I say was the best player today on the pitch for me, for Chelsea, I probably would have to say, I thought Kovacic done pretty well for himself today. He got injured, by the way. So he's now off. I don't know how long he's going to be out for. But I thought he played okay today. And obviously, Raheem Sterling, what a goal that was. And obviously, Reece James as well had a pretty good game today. Other than that, I can't really think of any other really positives. Mason Mount was okay. Kai Havertz, again, very, very, not that great today. And, overall, Augs, what can I say? I'm disappointed, really, because as I said, we really need to win this game today, because the next two games are going to be tough. And at this moment in time, I thought unless we win those next 2 games, like Summer said, I can't see us getting through to the next stage of the Champions League. I reckon if we don't win those next 2, we're out. Which is going to be obviously disappointing for me as a fan.
Yeah. Champions League is over and we're going to go to Europa League, baby. Europa League. Loading.
Hope not.
Bobby.
Hope not.
Bobby, your defense and the goalkeeper. Kepa made some saves, right?
Yeah, I have no complaints about Kepa today. I think Kepa is very much improved. And I think at this moment in time, he benches Mendy. The defense is not the problem. I don't even fully blame the makeshift lineup at the back that he put. Yes, you start to wonder why he persists with Azpilicueta. But, I have to talk about J5. He is the problem. The midfield is the problem. And the strikers are, they're low quality anyway, but they're never going to do anything if they're not supported by the midfield. DJ was talking about passes to Aubameyang. Now, I thought Aubameyang had a stinker, but I didn't really see any passes to him unless I missed that one. I just see this over and over and over again. And no matter what Potter does, this is a player problem. And some very brave decisions have to be made. Sometimes you just have to cut your ties. If it's not working, just cut it. J5, go. Ziyech, go. There's no point anymore. And look for replacements. January can't come around quick enough because this team, I'm deeply concerned. Back-to-back games with AC Milan, forget it. Forget it.
Leao, man. Leao is waiting you with a lot of determination. Dave, defense.
Oh, my goodness. First thing first, I would like to announce surviving Thomas Tuchel is over. Now the new show is called The Rising Stars. So these guys going to look at it more like they want to take their time to be superstars instead of winning games directly. But if you look at like the players that we have, right? Like Bobby said, he's so right. You see Kovacic, right? And you see where Messi Mount is. Imagine putting Thiago from Liverpool over where Messi Mount was playing. And imagine benching Kai Havertz to put Luis Diaz from Liverpool down there. You will see different kind of play. You see different moves. You see a lot of creativity. So no matter who we bring, coaches, same players is not going to change. That is absolutely right. People want to blame Azpilicueta, but to be honest, Azpilicueta, I was not even expecting him to do that well, if I'm being honest. He was at the right place at the right time. That goal that he scored, that's what you call scripting goals. That happens to anyone. It went between his legs. Now, you're not about to call him a bad player. That's a scripting goal. It happens. Kepa couldn't do anything about it. That's what you call scripting goal. But if you put players like Azpilicueta at bench and match a defender like Thiago Silva there, that's what Chelsea need. We need a proper balance. We cannot just have a skillful like Raheem Sterling on the left and without having a skillful player on the right. That's what I said. If you put a Luis Diaz down there on the right, it's balanced. Same thing with the midfield. If you got Kovacic on the left, Kante as defense mid, and on the right you put Thiago from Liverpool, midfield is balanced. The formation needs to be balanced. But every time that we have a starting 11, you already know what the weakness is going to be. Because the starting 11 is not balanced. If you put Azpilicueta in the back, we all know it's not balanced because you could beat him with pace. Yeah. So that's what the problem is the players. And then if they want to take the time to improve, that's where the movie comes, The Rising Stars. We have to wait. Yeah, we have to wait until they finally get it.
All right, people. So let me read some comment here on YouTube so everybody can feel involved and part of the show instead of just watching us. So Paul Flo, this guy never say anything good about me. So he came here to say, so you don't blame the system now, right? If it was Thomas Tuchel, you were going to say that basically what he meant. You were going to say, change the system, you are a hater. So I'm a hater of Thomas Tuchel because I'm not calling out on Graham Potter to change the system already. Listen, I don't know how old are you, so I'm not going to shoot on the kid here because we have a lot of like 12 years old kid who don't understand, who can't connect the dot. But if I can educate you, you can't compare 2 years with one game, because to change the system, you have to try different systems. And I was not only complaining about the system, it's about the personnel. Sometimes Jorginho, sometimes Pulisic, sometimes Hakim Ziyech. Many things that I was complaining. Never hated anybody, but I have the freedom to say change something and see if it's gonna work. I didn't say change all the time. Just like if it's not working, you have to change it. Don't change something that is not broken. But if something is broken, you have to try something instead of blaming everybody, saying everybody is bad. What I was saying is that you have to try also to blame yourself. See if you change the system and also change the personnel. Can you tell me how, like somebody like Kai Havertz is on the pitch and Armando Brugge on the bench, and he is there for 90 minutes? Like, what is that? So I'm not gonna say much. You can call me hater or whatever, but only like grown-up adult understand my position when it comes to Chelsea Football Club, because I don't sugarcoat people. I don't copy and paste same old social media thing. I do my own thing and I use a lot of common sense. There's nothing wrong by telling the manager to change the system, and I'm not gonna call on Porter for the first game ever after few training, and I'm gonna call on him, oh, change the system for what? Probably the personnel. He wanted to try Jorginho. Did I wanna see Jorginho? No. He wasn't in my plan. I didn't want to see Kai Havertz. He was there. So it's about the system, personnel, and the manager need to change, need to test. Okay? Try here and there and see what is happening. So this is the first game. But like I said, I don't know how old are you. You've been getting on me on social media and in my channels. The only reason that I never blocked you is I don't block people because it's democracy here. You say whatever you want, but just don't cross the line. I never hated anybody, and I will continue even to get on Porter if he does some stupid stuff in the future. I'm gonna come here and call him out without saying get rid of him or no. It was clear that certain games that we lost, it was the system. You don't need to play 5 at the back against Charlotte FC and humiliate me in America. You know what I mean? So those little things, certain kid can't connect the dot, and you have to press, or you have to hit. For me, I have to find the middle ground. That's what I do. I criticize you. I give you also the benefit of the doubt. So I hope you got your answer. I don't know your age, so I apologize if you are a kid, because I am not going to shoot on a kid, you know? So that's the way it is. Anybody want to jump and say whatever you want?
Yeah, Mr. Oaks. Mm-hmm. You see the way Todd Bally spent that much money, right, this summer? Mm-hmm. And for the Chelsea fans who think he about to spend something close to that again next summer or in January, that ain't going to happen. I'm saying that because he bought a lot of youngsters. He got some youngsters in the academy, and these guys are supposed to be for the future. And until now, we probably going to have to still use the same players that we have until probably close to next season. Who knows? Next season, we're still going to have the same players because he's trying to, use the academy. If you get my point, it is. Right. If you wanted to win right now, you will not go and buy all these academy players and save them for next season. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. So for the Chelsea fans who thinks, oh, we about to sell Kyrie, we about to sell Mount and get a better player, I don't see that happening. There are better players right now. They're in the academy. They're coming soon.
Well, the problem I don't understand now is like people are overreacting at the moment. I don't blame them because you just lost a popular guy, right? You lost somebody like Thomas Tuchel who won you pretty much everything. People are going to be angry like this. But I don't understand why people can't give the benefit of the doubt to the new guy and say, you know what? This is the first game. He only has few training sessions and he's trying to see what can work. I completely understand that, but the frustration from people is impacting their judgment at the moment. I think people are overreacting because we just lost a popular guy in the community.
Mr. Oaks, you are absolutely right with everything you're saying because that is not how it works. You just don't like straight away want to change something all the time. Sometimes you need to give like players the chances to learn from their mistakes and do certain things. Because if you are so quick to want to change, the mentality of players is not going to be the same as all the time. Not have to switch. I have to change this. I have to change that. I don't think that's how it works with soccer. Like if you put like for Sterling to be playing on that right position, it took a lot of time for him to finally put the gas and the oil in him to start doing what he's doing. So I totally agree with you. Sometimes we just need to keep players in the right position and give them the time.
Yeah, run off game. People just don't realize how gelling a team takes a little bit of time. So now I completely understand the reaction from people.
Kevin De Bruyne, we let him go. Now look at what he's doing.
Look at what he's doing. So I'm not going to buy. I respect everybody's opinion, but I think it's just a little reactionary when it comes to Porto. Like we're not going to wait. This is the players. Like we want to just now validate our own opinions about Thomas Tuchel. He was unfairly sacked. Everybody knows about it. So that frustration is going to be unloaded to the new regime, and every single thing he's going to do is going to be bad until he wins. You don't win, you're going to be in trouble. That's the way it is. So even Mauricio Sarri people gave Lampard hard time, and then Lampard people gave Thomas Tuchel people's hard time. It's always waiting for I told you so moment. They're going to see always like red flags everywhere. But when this start working like a well-oiled machine, nobody's going to say the same. So that is my opinion, but I respect people's opinion.
It is difficult to be a Chelsea fan.
It's difficult. You can't please.
It's very difficult.
It's very difficult. Matt, what do you have to say? Your first impression. Congratulations for you and Kepa, because those saves pretty much kept us in the game.
I mean, he was okay, I guess. Like, I think he could have done a bit better. I've lost my voice yesterday at work, so my voice is stuffed. But I always have to come on and still chat Chelsea. I've been saying this for weeks now, and I said that I would rather lose a small battle to win a large war. And it's the same problem with having Potter. It's the players. It's always been the players. It's always been their mentality. It's always been the way they play. It doesn't work. As I said, I'm going to give time to Potter. I'm going to let him develop. It's, not get too reactionary right now. But what would have happened if we just kept Tuchel for the rest of the season? And then give Potter that chance next summer. Because you cannot restart the game when you've nearly finished it. Let us develop this team, but this team is not going to work. There's no point in developing players like, honestly, Havertz, ghosted again. Mount, the guy had some good shots. He was here and there, average, not generational. Aubameyang, the guy was a Tuchel signing. How's he going to work under Potter? And then he starts Azpilicueta centre back. The guy's rubbish. The guy needs to leave. He's a legend in our books. He should have left on a high note.
But Thomas Tuchel gave him a new contract because he wanted leaders. That's why I'm saying here it's not about only players. And then
goes and turns his back on him and then sacks him. Like again, Tuchel wanted him.
Yeah.
Again, yeah, I agree. Tuchel wanted him, and then Azpilicueta goes behind his backs and then has a nice dinner with Bowie and says, "Oh yeah, there's problems in the dressing room," because it's Tuchel's fault. So I think Azpilicueta is a flip-flop like Todd Bowie. They don't know what they want. But Azpilicueta as a player is absolutely finished. This guy, I can't believe he started him as centre back. I can't believe it. It was shocking to me. We have Fofana, Koulibaly on the bench, but he decided to start Azpilicueta, centre back. And a back four. Doesn't make sense.
Okay. All right. I respect your opinion. I know emotions are too high. I completely understand. When you lose a popular guy like Thomas Tuchel, who won you everything, it's going to be always an issue. I know it's going to calm down. God. We have like few weeks now, international bloody break coming.
Chelsea fans so spoiled, bro. Like we like to win quick games
because we are used.
Azpilicueta didn't get ranked over like Fofana last game. That didn't happen.
Azpilicueta has been rubbish since last season. The guy should have left on a high note.
What rubbish action did he do today?
Mr. Victor,
that was the
we
thing.
Can't hear you. You are like
again, he making so many mistakes, and then again, the goal as well. He was right next to him.
Bro.
Didn't
Take
do
yourself
anything.
off and come back, please.
That was a scripted goal.
Got absolutely bodied 6 times. He got bodied 6-7 times. Like
who?
The guys, Azpilicueta. He should. He should have left on a high note.
Really.
He should have left last season. Obviously, you should have started to keep him.
But don't blame him. The guy got 3 years more contract. He got more money.
And then obviously Todd Bowie, that absolute fraud, gives him more money.
Also,
like, why would you give him more money? And then we're gonna give Kante more money. And like we're just keeping the same players. If you want, we have to just start getting rid of these players. That's I've been saying that for months. I love Kante, but he needs to go. Azpilicueta, best right back at Chelsea Football Club ever, but he needs to go. We got to start rebuilding these players. We're rebuilding this team because it's the same thing week in, week out. Jorginho was quite good today, but that's a player who still needs to go because one game does not define your whole career, and that's what people are still looking at. Kai Havertz, the Champions League goal, they're still using it as an excuse. All right, Mason Mount, the assist in the Champions League. These two are bang average players that need to be humble.
And look, Mr.
Matt, somebody was saying that what mistake did Azpilicueta make? If we go back and watch that goal, I'm a huge Azpilicueta fan, but if you go back and watch that goal from Salzburg, the scorer of the goal came from behind Azpilicueta on his blind side and made the advance before Azpilicueta even figured out that the guy was coming from behind him. And then Cucurella was running back with 3 other defenders, but actually stopped just as he entered the 18-yard box instead of completing his drive back.
Let me say this one, right?
If Thiago Silva had gone back, he would have been able to clear that ball, or Cucurella could have cleared it. But the scorer came from behind Azpilicueta, and that's dead on Azpilicueta's fault.
And also, if Thiago Silva's slide tackle would have touched that ball the right way, that goal wouldn't have, got in the box.
Exactly. Sometimes our defenders need to just clear the ball out to throw it, rather than sliding to win the ball back.
That's what I'm trying to say right here. Because if Todd Boehly has to change an entire team, he needs to change the Chelsea fans too as well. Because we have so much, I don't know what to say, so much no patience. When you see the other position fans, they were not even that much. They were jumping, hype, and then happy to support the team. Chelsea fans, even in the stadium, it's silence. So for me, here it's like I will call myself a proper Chelsea fan, whether we lose or we do not lose. But pointing out the guys who makes a mistake and mistake for me is like it's part of soccer, but you cannot do it all the time. But I agree with he's gotten older. It's time for him to go, but he was not as bad as.
So, gentlemen, I got your point here, right? So until January at least, these players are gonna stick with us. Okay, you like it or not, they're gonna be there. But we have to get something. We have to win games in the future, in the near future. We have to try to qualify from this group and fight for top 4 and all that. So forget about selling them. Forget about everybody need to go because they are not going anywhere. They're gonna stick with us. So what are we gonna do when we come back from the international break? Because Liverpool game was cancelled. Correct me if I'm wrong. So the first game is gonna be away at Crystal Palace after the international break. So we have more than 2 weeks now. Nothing is happening, but Porto don't have his players, so he can't really even train. So, Bobby Smokey, what do we have? Bobby hasn't speak for a little while now. Let's listen from him. Bobby, what do you think we should do now until January at least, before we get everybody out? What is the solution? Are you still there, Bobby? Probably with the family or something. No, Bobby is not there. So, DJ, you still there? DJ? No?
Yeah, bro, I'm here. What's
okay,
up?
so what are we gonna do now until January? What is the solution, or at least what can we try to get something out of this team? Is there any solution, or?
I mean, there is solutions, Orgs. I mean, we've got these players till January now, and we've just got to trust within them. I know Matt's come on again and talked about the Havertz thing again. Big up to you, Matt, by the way. Yeah, I know he's come on and spoken about Havertz and all that again, and other players he's discussed. But look, we've got these players now till January. I believe Potter will get something set up. It's just a shame that this international breaks come now, because a lot of these players are going to be on international break on international football now, and he's not going to get a chance to have a proper training session with them, like spend days with them like you would like. Because of this, some players will obviously be there, but not everyone. Yeah. But look, we've got to stick with it, mate. Because as I said, there's nothing else we can do. I mean, for me, at this moment in time, again, Ziyech came on today. Very disappointed with him today. I have to say. Again, I think someone pointed out earlier, I can't remember who it was who said it, saying they don't know if he really wants to be at the football club anymore. I get that impression every time I see him coming off the bench now. His attitude, his moods, it's like he's just not that. Again, his corner kick today. Corner kicks again. I think he had a couple of corner kicks he did. Again, couldn't beat the first man. In fact, a lot of those corner kicks were not beating the first man today. They kept being cleared away very quickly. So again, there's a lot of things to work on. I would obviously give these players still their chance. We've got them until January. They are good players. You can't become a bad player overnight. I believe I'll just have to believe in this, in the manager, and believe in the players process, and believe in these players that he's got, because I still think he can get something out of them. I really do.
Yeah, Victor, are you back? Mr. Victor, mute yourself.
Can you hear me?
Yes, you have some audio issues, but we can hear you.
Okay, I mean, what I have to say, I'm really with you with it.
Are you driving?
I am actually pulling into my house. I'm really with you with the answers you gave to the gentleman that has been harassing you on the internet. It is about the style. The style of play is the same that was played today that we get from Tuchel. He hasn't changed anything yet. So the style is the same. The personnel is the same. They were placed in the same place. I have an issue. You ask us to talk about the goalkeeper all the way up to the midfield, and folks have to jump up because we are so frustrated. I will stay with your question. From the goalkeeper up to the midfield, look at Chelsea. You spend 270 plus million quid, and your general midfield area is 70 years old. The commentators wouldn't stop talking about the age of our players. The commentators wouldn't. But we have younger players there that can play. My only fear, and this is a serious fear, is that Potter might think that our hope and organization can never happen at Chelsea unless we have J5. If we go that route, we are doomed. We need 2 8s. We have a lot of attacking midfielders who are wasted on the bench, because we have to find somebody to actually support J5. If you have Zakaria or even Chukwuemeka, and they can handle that area by themselves, it releases the 2 8s to go and help the attackers.
Okay.
So if you are a manager and you cannot see that, and you need to have this feeble, slow, and very weak defensive midfield who cannot defend, therefore all the players around him feel like they need to come back and help him, your attack actually is stifled. So So we don't have any attack at all. Because if we scored more goals, it's actually the old saying goes, the best way to defend is to attack. So the ball is over there. If we score more goals, these small mistakes that we have, we won't even realize them. We don't score goals at Chelsea.
But
and we spend so much money.
Okay,
so that is what he has to do.
Yes, so Mr. Victor, I think when you get home, you can call again. You're gonna find me here. I will give you the we hear what you're saying, but when you get home, you can come back here, brother, because I don't want you to risk when you are driving, and you come back when you are finished. People, Mr. Great, Mr. Patrick, everybody waiting in the waiting room. Be patient. I will take you at the end and give you some minutes because we've been here for almost an hour. We're gonna try to conclude the show because people are so disappointed. They wanna go to sleep and all that. So I'm gonna let them go very shortly. But I will come back to you, take you, and give you sometimes at the end after I say goodbye to other people because you just came now, so I can't get you involved. So yeah, save your debate, and we're gonna debate at the end. Mr. Bo say that caller is obsessed with G5. Yeah, I mean the problem is not only Jorginho though. I don't want to focus on one individual because we have so many issues from different area on the pitch. And listen, people, let me go very quickly.
Can I chime in real quickly, Oaks?
Sure.
So you asked what we can do since we can't get rid of anybody by January, until January. I think since our midfield is the biggest problem, let's try to have a holding midfielder or a defensive midfielder so we can free up the 2-8 to actually help in the attack. And we can do that by playing Zakaria. If the coach wants to put in Jorginho or somebody else, at least then we can push Jorginho further up. But have Zakaria right in front of the defense. Because each time we have, I don't want to really talk about Jorginho, but if you don't have a defensive midfielder, then there is more pressure the moment we lose the ball on the defense. And also, don't play Azpilicueta as a central defender in a back four. In a back three, yes, he has two other central defenders. But in a back four, it can't be Azpilicueta only with Silva. You can play Silva and Koulibaly or Koulibaly and Fofana, but not Azpilicueta. Azpilicueta should be coming off the bench where he doesn't play the full 90 minutes. And then I like the idea that we use three midfielders today, but we need to have a defensive midfielder there to hold things tight so the defense does not have to be in trouble so much.
Yeah, I completely understand that.
And in attack, please for once start Brugge. Let's see this young kid for a longer period of time. Start Brugge. If he doesn't do well, then at least we have a match to fall back on and say he needs to go to the bench. We've tried the other players and we're saying Havertz is not producing. Aubameyang is a good player, but he needs the supply. Let's try Brugge next, since we're not getting the results we desire. And please bench Havertz, bench
Mount.
He called? Ziyech. Mount played a little better today, but still not good enough. You know? But the ones that are really, really bad, Ziyech needs to be benched. He shouldn't even play the next game. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Oaks.
Yes, sir, Mr. Dev.
Yeah,
go.
Oh, for me, what we need to do, right, for the rest until the window's open, is support, because we got them till next summer. You know, and I believe I saw a post where he said he was going to have a talk with them after the break or before the break or something.
Yeah, one-on-one.
Yeah, so I believe when he's going to be in that office having that therapy with his players, he's going to tell them what the problem with them is, the best side of them, and what is the wrong side of them. So that's the kind of coach that we needed to talk to them individually to say, look, you weaken the midfield.
Yeah.
And that's costing us goals. I need you to improve there and at least do something different. That a feedback to a player is a motivation to do better.
Yeah.
So that's what we need to do. We keep saying, yes, let's bench Ziyech. But if we bench Ziyech, who else going to take that spot besides Ziyech? And even if we put Pulisic, and if Pulisic is injured, who won't put there?
Yeah.
Right. So the best thing to do is to support, and that's what he needs to do, Graham Potter. Just tell them what they're doing wrong and what they should keep up with. That's how we are going to do better. The rising stars,
Yeah, so this is your last question, Mr. Dev, because I will take you off and then say goodbye to other people. And Mr.
No problem.
Mr. Great and Mr. Patrick, you're gonna be at the end because I wanna give you a chance to talk. You haven't said anything, so thank you for waiting. So Dev,
yes.
Do you think that Aubameyang is gonna work? Because it looks like he missed a few chances. Nobody is talking about it because people wanna focus on Jorginho, but if he scored those chances that he had, probably the narrative was going to be different. What do you think about Aubameyang?
For Aubameyang to work, the midfield need to cook to end the meal, to feed him the ball. That's how
he got some food today, but he refused to eat.
he might miss today, but next time he knows that he should do better. But the thing is, we did not really give a proper ball to our forwards in how many seasons. If you remember Diogo Costa, right? He fought for the ball, he got it, he scored. And then right now, if you compare to the midfields he had to do that, like Cesc Fabregas, it's incredible. To what we have right now, to give him this kind of passes, to give him goals, it's a problem. So, if you take Aubameyang, put me in Man City, they will find a way to make him score.
Yeah,
that's
the way they are finding Haaland.
The way they're finding Haaland. If Haaland was in the place of Aubameyang today, right? I don't think he would have scored as many goals as he's scoring in City. Because it comes to what is our midfield thinking on how to make the striker score.
Yeah,
the striker can score without the support of the midfield. It shouldn't be our wing back who's trying to give him the ball. So until it changes, I don't think it's going to work. But it needs to. The midfield's mentality needs to change. Messi wants to go. Kovacic wants to dribble. Jorginho is still all the way in the middle of the midfield. I mean, the middle of the field. So how is Aubameyang going to get that ball?
Yeah, very difficult. We have to continue creating. Mr. Dev,
yes,
come back tomorrow and let's talk about it. Thank you so much for helping.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, let's go to Summer. You want to say your last word for the show, of course, because we still have a lot of shows to go. So what do you have to say?
Well, I just think it's frustrating that even with a change, we're still playing just about the same way. There's a deeper problem with Chelsea and Chelsea players. And that is going to take time to change. That's why I wished if we're going to get rid of Tuchel, we could have gotten rid of Tuchel before preseason. So a new team can start working with the manager. Now we're in the middle of the season. Points have been lost in the Champions League, in the Premier League, and we're working to change things. It's going to take time. So we're going to support the new manager. But at the same time, we want the new manager to be radical. He should go back and use this international break, 2 weeks or so that we have, to really look at what these players have been doing before he got there.
Yeah.
And not be afraid of the big names. He should change whatever he needs to change and know that at the end of the day, he's going to be judged on results.
Yeah.
It's a result-oriented business. We don't care who he plays as long as they're winning.
Yeah.
So he needs to become, well, I'm not saying he's a bad coach, but he needs to become a little tougher. The same way he's bold to sit Koulibaly and Fofana, the same way he should be bold to sit any other player without me mentioning a particular player, and just make sure he starts winning. When he starts winning, The fans are going to be behind him. And then those on the bench would not have a reason to complain. It's one thing when you're sitting on the bench and the guys that are playing are not winning. Like Koulibaly would be like, I can do better. But if the guys you put in win the game and win convincingly, those on the bench would be like, oh, I need to, up my game to be able to make the first team or the first 11. So I'm hoping the manager is going to come back after the international break and really give us players on the pitch that will go like, wow, what is happening? As long as we get the results, we're good.
Thank you so much, Mr. Summer. Come back, put your notification on. Thank you so much for helping the channel, brother, and I'll talk to you next time. All right, so Summer is gone. DJ, you want to say your goodbyes? And Mr. Great, stay there. I'm going to give you a few minutes at the end because you came late. So I'm going to have to free other people to go sleep, take care of the family and stuff. I will come back to you. Patrick and Great. Let's go, DJ.
Yeah, listen, everything Summer just echoed, I 100% agree on. I think while the international break's there, hopefully Potter will be able to, play play a way that he wants to play. I know all the players are not going to be there, but whatever place he does have at the training ground, try and work with them. So at least he knows those players will give competition to those other ones when they do come back. And if they do happen to get this plan right, give them the opportunity to do it. I think once he does that, I'm confident I'm still confident about the season. People, obviously gutted about Thomas Tuchel. I said that was the wrong decision to make still, and I still carry on by living by that decision by saying that. But we moved from him now, and we've now got to give Potter a chance. I do think if he gets things right, we still got we still got a lot of the season to play for. So yeah, mate, other than that, nothing else to say. Apart from obviously thank you for having me on your show again, bro.
No problem,
regards
man.
to the family.
Thank you for helping. No, thank you for waiting because I made you wait forever, man. Sorry because I couldn't. There are so many people I can get in one stream. So
okay, that's absolutely
take your
fine.
time,
so for
bro.
me,
go on.
For me, I think I want to look at Chelsea as a team holistically, right? From history to present and to the future. So I think this morning I classical finisher. And for me, I mean, he had there was an opportunity where he actually there was a ball he kicked and it was blocked. I mean, if that defender didn't get out on the way, that would have gone in.
He was going to score.
He was going to score, and I just think as Chelsea fans, we should sort of lower our expectation and see what this whole project is going to be for the next 5 years. Because yes, we won the Champions League 2 years ago. We've always been, in between top four and everything. But I think we should just allow this coach to bring in his philosophy. Some of the older players, it's a gradual process. They will gradually fade out. The likes of J5, the likes of Aspi, it's a gradual thing. They will phase out. And, I bet, it's just a matter of time. Because if the coach, and I'm also with you based on the believing in our the youth, because I believe that we have one of the best academy. And if they're going to stick to that, I think on the long run, because look at some of the products that we have from the academy doing great things in Italy, the likes of Tammy, the likes of Tamore, these guys are doing well.
Doing good,
I mean, they are doing really well. And sometimes I ask myself, I think sometimes we the fans, we are also to be blamed, because we have so much high expectation because we've been spoiled. It's like a spoiled child that is always wanting something.
Exactly.
But for me personally, we should lower expectation and allow the coach to do his own thing for a long time. I'm not expecting us to qualify, but if we do, I'll be surprised. I'm not expecting us to win the Premier League, but if we do, I mean, glory be to God.
So what is this year? What is acceptable for you? Top four, a trophy, UEFA Cup or something?
I would say let's go for top four. For me, will be all right. That means obviously we can play the Champions League. I'm not expecting any trophy, but if we do get a trophy, I'm nice, because the fact is, Ox, these players are they're brilliant players, but I don't know, for some strange reason, I don't know what has been going behind the scenes between them and the previous coach, which is TT. You understand? People obviously are pointing out someone like Ziyech, and the funniest thing, prior to the game, after the game, I was watching an analysis by the former Chelsea player Joe Cole, and basically was saying that the coach would probably have to sort of speak to Ziyech and try and find out what is actually going on, the way, because Ziyech is a really good player. For me,
he's my brother. I always defend him.
Yeah, he's a really good player, but obviously, I don't know if there's probably some sort of psychological thing he's going through. You understand? So it's a case of probably talking to him. And obviously
you just nailed it, because what I heard is like Porter is a good guy, he value human being, and one-on-one, he understand what you're going through. He got a degree an emotional something like that, emotional intelligence. So I heard that he's gonna have a one-on-one before the players leave for international. He's going to have a one-on-one this weekend just to try to understand and also ask players where they feel more comfortable, so he can come up with a plan. But I'm very positive. I'm like you. I'm not going to expect too much. Everything that will come now is just like a bonus, because you don't build a team in just one day. It's going to take time. That's another brother who been attacking me here to say, if it was Thomas Tuchel, you were going to be blaming the system. I'm like, for 2 years, I've been supporting the guy, but it doesn't mean that I have to accept and be a yes man all the time. There are certain games that you are asking for Mount to come off, take him off, okay? Don't put him there. Put another person, or twist the system a little bit to try to win the game. I have the right to say it. So even if I like you, I'm not going to be like a cultist where I have to applaud you all the time, or I'm not going to be a hater all the time. You can't do any right. Everything you do is no context, no nothing. You are always wrong. I don't do that. I have to give people credit when they deserve. But there are certain games, for the last 18 months that you just asking yourself what Jorginho is doing on the pitch, what Mount is doing on the pitch, what Havertz is doing on the pitch. Why can't you just try somebody else, Why can't you twist something. I'm not saying it's gonna work, but at least try something different. So you, by saying that, and because the guy is popular and won you trophies, you are a hater and you lead some kind of agendas because you question something. Listen, I live in a democracy here. Everybody can question everybody without insulting or without having any kind of agendas or out. No, I'm not that. So, let me, Mr. Great. This is going to be your last word, brother. Victor is also back. So I'm going to give him a little bit of time because he didn't speak really. He was driving. Next time, brother, don't drive and listen to me. I don't want anything to happen to you. Get home. I can give you whatever time you want when you are relaxed and you're having your ice cream or whatever. Don't worry. All right?
I need a lot of ice cream. Oz.
Yeah, so you have to get home safely. I'm going to stay here as long as you want me to so you can just empty your pocket. Mr. Great, very quickly, we were talking about what is your expectation this season? Top 4, Carabao Cup. Carabao Cup, we're already in trouble against Erling Haaland. So that one is going to be complicated. What is your expectation?
As for me, right now, I will try to adopt the Arsenal fans' attitude. Whether they get anything or they don't get anything, they are happy. They just accept things the way it comes. As for me, I'm not expecting too much. If it is Tuchel that is there, I will expect something because he was given the money, he spent the money, and we are still having this kind of problem. It's not making sense. So as for me, I'm not expecting too much from Porto because he's trying to bring in his own system. He's trying to get to know all the players, like I said before, knowing where they belong, knowing what they can do, knowing who wants to be in the team and who doesn't want to be in that team anymore. So it's just all about time because this night I look at Stanley. If you notice this night, you see another somebody. Stanley.
Mr. Victor, can you lead the debate here because I have my pet to feed. I think they want me right now. I have to give my pet some food. I'll be back.
I got you.
All right, continue, guys. You don't cut each other.
Can I continue now?
Yeah, you continue
yes,
and you lead and go ahead.
Yeah. If you notice, Stanley actually played. I would say Stanley actually enjoyed his game tonight due to the fact that he actually played as a normal winger. So most of all these players are just trying to enjoy football from their main position, like the likes of Mount playing out of position for the past 2 years. So everything is just all about time. It's better we just try to calm down, understand what this new manager is bringing, understand the player that wants to play. And I believe everything is going to be fine with the strategy Bully is bringing in, which I am very pleased with. So everything is just a matter of time. Everything is a matter of time. Though Abramovic has already spoiled us already with spending carelessly and getting the trophy. But right now, everything is all about individual. Is what we work for, is what they are going to pay the players. So they have to win trophy before they can make money. So as for me, I'm not expecting too much. I'm not expecting too much at all because I can't do that anymore. I've expected more than enough from Tuchel, and it's really breaking my heart from the beginning of the season. So for Porter can have his way and do whatever he likes, but I believe he's a better coach. He's going to improve these players.
Great. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. We can
Patrick, can you hear me? Okay. So I have a different take on this. My fear, and that is what I said earlier on. I don't know if you guys were listening. Is that no? I mean, seriously, my fear is that because he has not changed anything, and you would think that even your first game, I know that he's scared of the veterans, he's scared of the experienced players, he's scared he doesn't want to step on their toes because he thinks that. But he has just been given a 5-year contract.
God bless you. Yeah. God bless you. Yeah. That man has to be careful in that team at the moment.
Yeah. And so that is why you probably selected these people. Because there is no reason why you will sit Fofana down and sit Koulibaly down and put in Day or Aspilicueta thinking that we are at home and he's gonna all of a sudden become a better player. He's getting, he has had his share of Chelsea. He wanted to move on already. Now, with regards to those two players that came on, right? Everybody who comes on wants to play because they don't want to embarrass themselves as players. So we know that we know the full measure of these players. We know the full measure of some of these players. We have to give
Victor, we are losing you again. Okay.
And that is what the problem is.
Yeah, you were breaking down a little bit before the last word. Like we couldn't hear you for like 10 seconds or so. But it's okay.
Quick, all right. Blake. Just go on.
All right. Patrick, you wanted to say something?
Yeah. I just wanted to sort of reiterate what Victor did say about, some of the older players. The fact of the matter is, in every organization, you have people you would definitely come in there and meet, and they probably are not part of management, but they sort of behind the scenes, they run the shots. And especially when it comes to football, I mean, even in national teams, you have senior players who, if they sort of collaborate with the FA, not even with the coach, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So for me, I would say the selection he made today, obviously, I will give the coach the benefit of the doubt that he went for experience over sort of agility and talent. You understand, in the likes of Aspi and in the likes of Silva at the back. But I think my take on it, and I did say this before, and I'll say this again. To be honest, I'm not expecting any trophies this season. All I'm expecting is that we should be in top 4. That's my expectation. Apart from that, no any other expectation. Because I think, like I said to you, as Chelsea fans, we've been spoiled over the years. And I think some of these problems have been there. It's just the fact that now that, Abramovic is out of the way and we have a new owner and we're seeing that, okay, where do we have to, for the long term? Because when I listened to the interview Bowley gave on the FTX Salt, he basically said something about modeling what Manchester City does. You understand? He said Chelsea is like, we do not sort of appreciate or enhance data.
Yeah.
Which it's for me, it's refreshing that it means that, okay, they want to take a new approach towards seeing how they're able to sort of start winning trophies and all that. When it comes to individual players, like I said, the coach, as a coach, he obviously has the skill in coaching certain players to a certain limit. It's a case of, okay, you give these players, we have to generate, right? We give some of these players that time. If certain players that have certain contracts that are probably coming at the end of that time, and you see that, okay, their performance rate is not really going well, then it's a case of, okay, we're not renewing your contract, you go. I mean, the likes of N'Golo Conte, you understand, he wants a certain amount of years on his contract. But if at the end of the day, based on his age, I mean, he's done his bit, you understand, we should give him kudos to that. He should go. And, let other young players come into the system and let Porter gradually start with the team that he sort of believes in. And, because I strongly believe in the coach, you understand.
And Patrick, I don't mean to cut you, but there, I want to insert this particular statement right here. If I were Potter, right, what Jorginho will sit down. Kante is not even fit to play. Kante, in a way, I really don't understand why he's asking for some lucrative contract here. You don't even play anymore. He doesn't play the game. Yes, he comes in and he gets injured. He doesn't play anymore, and we have been good by him. He should take any contract we give him now. It's not going to be below what he's earning right now. And what he's earning right now is pretty hefty. That's 2. Kovacic is not... Kovacic was a reject from Madrid. They didn't want him. Our standards at Chelsea in that midfield area, deep midfield, is so low that if a player can get the ball and pass the ball, he is all right. That is how low our standards are as Chelsea. And if we were some team, if we were like QPR or something, where we don't spend this amount of money, I'll be fine. We put in this money, but these players don't go anywhere. Have you realized nobody is coming after Jorginho? Nobody is coming after, even Kante, nobody talks about him anymore. There is a reason. Nobody wants our players because they know that they retard plays. What is Kuchumeka sitting on the bench? 18-year-old has something to prove. You put him on the field, he will run. He will tackle. He will move the ball
He has
forward.
nothing to lose because of
Yes.
he's a young man. He want to prove people.
Exactly. I do not, for the God's sake, I don't understand this. That this same old retarded play from these players is being held on by all of these managers because they are afraid. Let me tell you this. When I saw Jorginho do the press conference, I knew he was going to play. And I knew because of that, I knew that Porter went on the training field and Jorginho couldn't stop pointing his fingers. Like as if he knows what is going on. So he has this thing about him, makes him feel like he knows everything about what is going on. That should win you a game. That is his demeanor as a player. So the psychology of the player is such that if you don't have a backbone as a coach, he will always make you feel like he should know better.
Yeah, the problem is the new manager also. You know, when you come to a company, you don't sack everybody the same day. Yeah, you kind of try to understand the culture in the team. Try to talk to people one-on-one. You don't want to lose the dressing room immediately.
But you could say that, guys. Let me try something today, because the old thing is why we lose with them all the time. You have
that was under other regime. So for everybody got a clean.
They are not changing from 1 week ago to today. If they were not playing with they have come to their limits. That is what Patrick was saying. Listen, and others are saying. They have come to their limits. We cannot get any more.
The problem is, the problem in the coach mind is that he want to give the benefit of the doubt. Like, that is another regime. Let me try and see it myself.
Exactly. Yeah. No, but not all of them. Don't put all of them there. He put almost everybody we expected who is going to slow down our game there.
Can I remind you something? Let me remind you something. When Thomas Tuchel took over, everybody wanted to see Rudiger out because how bad he was. Back four under Mauricio Sarri, under Lampa, that brother was below even average. I still remember, I have pictures that people said, sell him to Arsenal, like send him on free. I'm going to drive him to the airport. That's how bad that brother was. So the change of system, new manager, and for 18 months or whatever it was, Rudiger, can I finish? So Rudiger came like world class. So every manager needs like to give the benefit of the doubt to
but I'll let you finish. But you see, Rudiger brought some traits. He has some characteristics that you could work with and mold. I never was on the bandwagon saying Rudiger was rubbish. He had the spirit. He had the structure. There is no coach that can make Jorginho 2 feet higher. There is no coach that can put muscles on that bony body frame. He doesn't have what it takes, and also there's no coach that is going to.
I think Jorginho took your girl.
There is no coach that is going to tell Jorginho or any of our midfielders.
Jorginho took your wife or something.
Can I finish, please?
Yes,
in football, after 30 years, they are set in their ways. They are set in their ways in football. You cannot give them any new tricks. You can tell them this is the strategy, but when they have the ball, they will go to what they are comfortable with. So with Jorginho and the rest in the middle, there is nothing you can do to make them prolific in the midfield, which is supposed to be the engine of our attack. That is where the attack starts from. Now, if you have Silva, who is 38 years old, and he gives the ball almost all the time to Jorginho, what kind of attack are you building? 38, 32, 17-year-olds What kind of attack? What kind of attack are you building?
Take some ice cream. I will come back to you. Great. Great. You wanted to say something quickly. And then we're going to go to Patrick and go back to Victor.
Okay. I just want to tell you something like, I want to remind you of Villas-Boas and shortly about Lampard. When we had Villas-Boas, he's a young manager. He tried to bring in the young blood, hoping like he's going to like go ahead with the young blood and start them, make them positive. Do you know that Chelsea started having problem from the dressing room? Don't let it to be strange. Like if Potter don't read these people, like you said, this man also read human beings. Like he know how to play along with human beings. Bringing in Thiago Silva, bringing in Kovacic, all those old players for them to play tonight, he just only try to. I just think he just only try to push them in the front. He want to give them the benefit of that. Like, okay, do what you can. Show people what you can do. I expect him to do that for like 5 to 10 matches for people to know that these players are gone. The likes of Jorginho, the likes of Kovacic, all of them, for you to know that they are gone. Because if he doesn't do like that, I swear to God Almighty, this man we started having problem, and you will think that Tuchel really caused on us what we started happening. Because firstly, he will lose the dressing room immediately if we try to rush in the young blood and try to just like sit up.
You're making a good point, because even Lampard lost the dressing room and there's some
no. If he's a true manager guy, he would do it incrementally. Well, that's what I'm saying. He should do it incrementally. Today,
like I said, this is the first game, and the next game might not be the same.
He played all of them. He played all of the deadwood.
Because he wanted to send a message like, listen, brother, I gave you a chance. You didn't take it. Now you have to be, on the bench and let other people talk. Mr. Patrick wanted to add something.
Yeah.
So everybody can feel involved in this. And let me say hi to our brother here, the Capo TV from Arsenal. Nice to see you, long time. I watch every single of your video. And he said that I think it's overreaction. Porter is quality manager. You have to give him what time? Yeah. So yeah, I completely understand. People just lost one of the best managers in their generation. We have a lot of people who didn't even see 2012 or didn't even see, when Chelsea were struggling. So many of us joined the team because of some trophies or because of an individual. And when that individuals leave the club, you're going to feel bad that you're going to attack the next guy. So Lampard, when he came over, he started even by losing 4-0 to Manchester United. Thomas Tuchel, his first game, he actually drew at home, and everybody say, oh, that was the first game. So I don't see why we should be overreacting, but I completely understand. It's not going to be an easy one when you replace somebody like Thomas Tuchel is overreacting. But when we settle, when everything is running smoothly, slowly and surely, you're going to get people on board. So that's what I see. So, Mr. Patrick.
Yeah. So I'll probably, this will be my final submission before I log out. So I think, Victor, I don't know if you've got some personal beef with Jorginho.
Jorginho took his girlfriend when they were in high school.
Because I've been watching your show for a while, and basically anytime we don't perform well and Jorginho is playing, Victor is on his case. I mean, I don't understand.
I think the day Jorginho is gonna leave, he's gonna drive him to the airport.
But on the flip side, I think what Great said is true. I think Potter, for me, based on his track record and also based on the sort of experience he has, and even based on his qualifications and how he's been able to practice what he knows. I think he basically put all these players out there so that the whole world could see and attest to the fact that, okay, these are supposedly the most experienced players we have, right? Because I think it would have even been more disastrous if he put all the young players out there and we got this sort of result, or probably we lost. Then people would have been asking the question,
really, Patrick? Really? Because
let him talk, please. We're gonna come back to you, Mr.
Victor. I'm trying
Victor, let him land,
there.
and we will come back to you.
I'm trying to, because the thing is, if you think about it this way, right? This is the UEFA Champions League, and this is a competition we have a reputation in. You know, we've won it twice, and based on the history and the track, we've practically been in the quarterfinals, semi-finals, and also the finals. I mean, people have been, calling for the likes of Chukwuemeka to start and all that. For me, I strongly believe that it was supposed to be Thomas Tuchel who was supposed to start playing that guy, because I don't see the reason why. Okay, you would sort of recommend certain players and you put them. I mean, so far he has not started any game for us. I mean, correct me guys if I'm wrong.
Yeah,
from the bench. He hasn't. You understand? So for me, Porter, like I said, I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. For the likes of Silva, Jorginho, for me, Kovacic was, for me, he was far better than Jorginho. Jorginho is not your typical defensive midfielder. He's not got the skill, and at the same time, he's not that aggressive. But I think there's something that coaches tend to see in him that we don't see as fans. So probably that's why they use him. You understand? You might be thinking that, maybe they're scared of him. We don't know. You understand? But there's something that the likes of TT and even Porter saw today that, okay, I needed to put this guy in. You understand? Yeah. Some of his passes went and some of his passes did not go. I mean, when I cast my mind back, our top-class defensive midfielders, you have the likes of the Mikelesi and the Makeleles, Mikel Obi. I mean, these guys, if you think about casting your mind back, you're like, wow, that's why we're able to win games, because our midfield was absolutely brilliant. You understand? But for me, like I said, it's a case of gradually phasing these players out. You understand? Not doing it in a drastic way whereby you probably bench the likes of Jorginho, Silva, Atsby, all of them at once. No.
The dressing room will explode in one day.
Exactly. That itself, I don't think that itself is sensible, and I don't think that itself is logical. If you're going to do it, it's gradual, because mind you, Potter also has his basically, when he came into Chelsea, he came with his own team. So I'm sure his guys are also sort of identifying certain points and certain loopholes, and obviously behind the scenes they will have meetings and say, it's high time this guy. And if they have that good communication with Todd, with the board, there is a case of triggering and say, this guy's contract is about to expire. Based on his age, I think we should just allow him to go gradually, and allow him to sort of have a space where, if we're going to recruit players or probably bring the players from our academy, we're doing a very logical fashion way, and because to me, to be honest, we've not had a stable coach for over 3 years or 4 years. It's been a case of, if a coach comes in, he doesn't perform, you get a sack. He doesn't come, you perform. But this time around, if what Todd and the rest of the board are saying that, okay, we're going to give this guy time, if that's what they're going to stick by, I think, because Porter is a world-class coach, for me, that's my rating. I rate him as a quality coach, and I just feel like we should give him, the time. As for you, Victor, Patrick, I think, Jorginho.
I know.
Victor,
I know you are going to go to Jorginho matter. I'll put the Jorginho matter.
No. I'm about to sign off, so let me just say this. I don't know. I know you have some. I don't know. You don't like him as a player, but I see from your point of view, the way he plays. He's not forward looking the way a midfielder is supposed to. Yeah, that's how I see it.
But Patrick, let me make this point before you completely just go away. Listen, we have one of the best players in history, not even in our generation, in history, sitting down at the bench at Manchester United. Do you know what that actually sends in terms of a message to the rest of the players? When you sit the player down, it speaks in and of itself. If you were a coach, giving time.
You're talking about Ronaldo, right?
Yes, I'm telling you about Ronaldo here. When you sit a player that is a constant and the whole world expects to play, if you are a manager, I don't care if you are old or new, if you sit a player down that anybody expects to play, it sends a message as well as when the player plays. We know this is a problem. I'm not even going to go there. We know it's a problem. It's been a problem for a long time. And the way we play from the midfield has succeeded in actually sacking 2 or 3 players. Some people are commenting, new manager, same problem. This is something that even fans in remotest of places in the world can see, that our midfield is broken. And you come in as a new prolific player, as a coach, and you want to play a bad joke on us by putting the same people on there. Your first game, you don't want to win when we know that what is at stake.
No, I don't think any manager is going to set up a team to lose.
No, exactly. But I'm saying to you, what I'm saying to you is that I'm going to give this coach a time. But I'm saying to you that if he says that because he doesn't want the dressing room to be a problem for him, because of that he is going to play this same old retarded players who do not know how to move the ball forward, even though the Ronaldos and the rest are sitting down in Manchester United, even though they are the best of the best of the best. Look at how many Ballon d'Ors Ronaldo has. And we are going to sit here and say that our standards are Jorginho's? This is ridiculous. We have lowered our standards so much that these players cannot be sat down when they are not performing, especially when you have other players sitting down who could do that and more. All that Jorginho does is get and pass the ball. And you know why I go after him, brothers? Is because he has infected the rest of the players. Because he is rewarded with the play, with selection all the time. Tuchel elevated him and Kovacic to an extent that all the players try to play like him.
Okay, you're cutting Victor, your micro. Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah, I think Victor. I will probably agree with Victor on the fact that J5 basically sort of affected the team, because a very clever midfielder would always, the team plays according to how he plays. But today, what I noticed was Kovacic was more attack-minded. You understand? He was doing more of the dirty work compared to Jorginho. So, I remember I did mention the fact that, when we had the likes of Makelele and, France, we were more attack-oriented. You understand? He would get the ball, do the dirty work, and, sprint, forward. And one thing I've also noticed with our team for the past couple of games, I don't know if this is something they practice, but it's the fact that, I don't know, it seems as if they are not, aiming at the post from the outside, from the 18-yard
God
post,
bless you.
God you understand? You. It's like they are trying to work, because I remember that when we had the likes of Drogba, Essien, most of the goals Drogba actually scored, if it wasn't from his head, would have been from the outside of the 18 box, and it would be a case of it, being on target. You understand, or the keeper saving it. But I've watched like 5 games, now, and most of our players are not, aiming at. I mean, if at the end of the day you're trying to break the defense and it's not breaking, be very innovative.
Eat from outside.
Be very very creative. I can still forget Essien's goal. Yeah. You understand? Against Arsenal? Yeah. That was an awesome goal.
Even against Barcelona when we ended up by
I think sometimes we probably need to. These players need to see some of our previous games with some of our legends, and see how they were able to conquer. Because sometimes if you cannot break
today's generation, you're not gonna find the character that we used to have.
They are players doing the same thing in other teams.
They are players doing the same.
Look at what is his name goes today. He's a back line. What's the guy who scored at Manchester City today?
Haaland?
No.
John Stones.
Stones. Yeah.
Look at that goal. Hell will freeze before you see a Chelsea player score that goal.
I swear to God Almighty.
Okay.
I mean, it's sad.
People, so we're gonna try to close this show. I've been here, I've been here like for 2 days. I'm gonna have to try to conclude this show. Phil, what do you have to say?
Yeah, good evening, everybody. Good evening, and it's a wonderful day. It's a new day. It's a new regime. Yeah, but it's so sad. It's so sad that we lost the match, and like some people were saying that Tuchel just want to Porter want to give a chance for the old guns just to try. Nobody try with the Champions League. When you step out there, you want to win. Doesn't matter who you bring in to play. But Mr. Victor, the way you talk sometimes about the team, about how they play and everything, I intentionally came because of you. Sometimes, I wonder, I don't want to say some word that will annoy you. We are all Chelsea fans. We get mad at some situation. But you remember during Makelele, you talk about Makelele SCN. Remember, we are not a possession team. We are not a possession-based team. We are a counter-attacking team. So we need players like Makelele SCN to keep that defense tight. Then we attack them on a counter. And that is what we do. Then we try to face off that type of tactics by bringing Sarri in. So we try to keep possession. So when we try to keep possession, you need a player like Jorginho. I'm not saying Jorginho, I understand Jorginho is not strong enough, but we need a player like Jorginho who can play and collect pass in a tight corner and distribute the ball. And also one of the work of register is to recycle the ball. When you go right, no space, you recycle it, you go to left. That is the role of a Jorginho as a register. So when you criticize Jorginho for what type of what he's doing, it's like you don't know the role. Because first and foremost, you have to know a role of a player before you criticize them. It's like you buying a diesel car and you want that diesel car to speed up like a gas car. Like a gas-oriented car. So you're not going to expect a diesel car to be that fast. So what I'm trying to tell you here is that Jorginho as a player is a register to keep possession and recycle the ball. Keep possession and recycle the ball. Don't forget that word. Though he lacks some ability to tackle when we are on the counter, when we are on the siege. But when you sit down there and criticize Jorginho for everything, you forgot that those players in the front, if they are putting 1 or 2 goals into the net, we won't be saying all these things that we are talking about. We will not be here.
Who are you blaming today, Phil?
Today, to be honest with you, the only person that I'm blaming today is Bolly. The only person that I'm blaming
for sacking the manager. Yeah.
Yes. The reason is this: to the best of my understanding, to the best of my knowledge, Thomas Tuchel want to win now. Bolly want a process, and we forgot. Chelsea, we have a culture. We are not Arsenal. We are not Man U. We want to win today. We want to win cup. We are not a club that will sit down and be waiting for next 2, 4, 5 years. We don't have that patience. So,
can I respond, please?
No, he just came now. Let him finish, and I'll finish with you, though. We still have more than 9 minutes to go. So let him finish. I'm going to close with you so you can empty your pocket at the end.
Thank you very much, may God bless you.
Telling us to wait for, bringing youth all the time is not going to cut it with Chelsea fans. We don't have patience for waiting for several years. If I don't see cup, I'm losing my head already. If I don't see cup in the cabinet, I'm losing it. So let me tell you, I'm not saying don't blame Jorginho, but you have to understand a role of a player in a team. And you can't, let me tell you this before I close up. You cannot say Sarri don't know how to coach. What's his name? Conte don't know how to coach. Tuchel don't know how to coach, and now Porter don't know how to coach. That they still putting this same guy in that role. You are not in the training. You don't know what is going on there. You don't know how they play. You don't know what they are telling them. You don't know what the plan is. You just blame because you saw some other defensive midfielder that just kick the ball, kick people, tackle people down. Everybody have the way they want to play. So that's all I want to say.
Okay, so Mr. Phil, what position are we gonna finish this?
With the way things are, you know me, I believe in a fear factor. I'm telling you, if we sniff 6th position, I'm owing you $100. If we see the way things are presently, if we make 6th position, send me your Zelle. I will send you $100.
All right. Okay. So that was anything else you wanna finish because I have to go.
I'm just sick. I need to go to the doctor's office because I'm not happy with this.
Okay. This sacking and this kind of things. It's gonna be a long season for you because the culture is changing, and it is what it is. Thank you so much for helping. Thank you for coming on, Mr. Great. You have your last statement, and then I'm gonna finish with Mr. Victor, and I am going to close the show. What do you have to say? First thing we hear now is like we have to wait for more than 2 weeks for the next game, and people are gonna just repeating the same thing, and it's gonna be analysis about the manager and players, so we can't really prove it on the pitch and move on. It's gonna be difficult. Mr. Victor, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Mr. Oz. I don't understand some of our fan base though, and they are entitled to their opinion, and they can come in here and spew. You give us a platform for that to happen, so we thank you for that. But listen to them though. They are talking about the fact that Jorginho has a role. Everybody has a role. We should just believe in these managers. First of all, where are those managers? Gone. And then in the next breath, they go and say they are devastated. They want to go to the hospital. They need to take some medicine because it's a bad day.
Okay.
The very, very essence of madness is doing the same thing and expecting a different results. Okay. I am on this channel and I'm telling you the different results will come in the change of the footballers on the pitch field. And I've studied our play, and I know that our play lacks positivity, creativity, strength, agility. Done that. And that is why when I come in here and I say, if you want to change things drastically, you have to start from the engine of the team, the deep midfield. Because, you know, the way we play right now, right? If we are playing from the back, the ball inevitably, whatever you do, the ball will have to go through that man. It always does. And if he does not have the foresight of a player who is forward-leaning, our play is always going to stay in his area. Period. So for me, that is why I am going to beat that drum until it is busted. Because I studied his game and he is one singular person. And that is why I also keep coming at him, because all these coaches want organization. And they are so scared. They are not bold enough to go with a player who may be a little bit rough on the edges, and maybe he might let in a goal or two. But haven't we had that from Jorginho many, many times, and he still got the chance? Give other people a chance, even when they make a mistake. It is from that they will learn and be better. But on top of that, they will give you something that Jorginho will never give you. Speed, strength, defensive ability. Do all the things that Jorginho doesn't give you. So if the only thing Jorginho gives you is organization, and that is the end of it, then you are screwed because he doesn't give you anything else. We don't come back. Or we have never come back from a goal down or two and scored and made our fan base happy. We come to this channel every single game, after every single game, even when we win, and complain. And these people keep saying that I go after Jorginho. No, I will end here by saying we all play like Jorginho. And the reason why we all do that is because he's a constant in our team. Even Silva every now and then sits down. Jorginho almost never sits down the entire game. Even when he's sitting down, Tuchel brings him back in because Tuchel trusts only him and only him. And this coach, if he's going to be successful, he should ask himself, would he have bought Jorginho if Jorginho was actually available to be in his team where he came from at Bradford? Would he have done that? None of the two teams above us will use Jorginho right now. None of them. Jorginho will not fit. Jorginho will not fit it.
Let me remind you something that Thomas Tuchel said when he took over at Chelsea. The first game, he actually said that it was unfair selection. Like he admitted it was unfair because I am trying to figure out things. So what I had to rely on people that I can be blaming, like the people who are old enough, the people who are, like leader or some kind of leaders in the dressing room. So I wanted to trust all the guys in order to, go through this game, and then it's not gonna be the same for other games because I'm gonna study them. I'm gonna see what is happening. I don't listen. Let me finish. I don't say that he actually did it, but that the PR and how he spoke back then to say that you academy product, you young players. Remember, even Mason Mount was benched on Thomas Tuchel's first game, just to explain that even you at work, when you try to organize something, you bought a company or you just got management position, you go to the kitchen, you greet the kitchen lady, you are, okay, my name is, oh yeah, how long you been here? Okay, I've been here for 6 years, sir. Oh, wow. And then everybody is telling you he's making terrible, fries or something. She doesn't know how to cook. Your position will be not to sack somebody immediately just because of the report or what you heard from long time. You're going to be like, okay, I'm going to give you a chance. Let me have a one-on-one with you and let me give you your chance. Like today, nobody is going to blame him if he bench Jorginho next time, or if he benches somebody like Mount or Hakim Ziyech or, whoever, Kai Havertz. Nobody is going to blame him. But I think the first game, I am going to give the manager the benefit of the doubt, and you should too. Like, give him the benefit of the doubt. This was something that he had to do, and trust the old guard. And when you lose that dressing room, Jorginho is a popular guy in the dressing room. Everybody loves him, not because of his football abilities, because they are buddies, they are friends. They go to each other's birthdays and they enjoy. They go out together and all that. And when you see your buddy mistreated, it's not an easy one. You lose the dressing room like that. And like Mr. Porter is like, he got a master in like human intelligence or something like that, emotional intelligence. So he knows that in the human level, it's going to pay off in long term. I'm not saying that he's going to use Jorginho every single day, every single game, but the first game probably was very important for him to start with those old guard and then say, okay, I gave you your chance, and next games, I don't think they're going to be the same. So,
yeah, I know you have to go here, so I'm going to keep this short. I just feel like his judgment in this one was a little bit off. Because he went over and above to really try and please these people. And they are not going anywhere for the next 2, 3, 4 months or whatever it is, even if they are leaving after their contracts are out. If he's going to have to please Aspilicueta, we know that we are going to get this kind of performance for 2 more years. Why, if he's going to have to, and you know it, that Jorginho will want an extension in contract because nobody else is going to pay him the way that Chelsea plays him. Nobody's going to also play him the way that Chelsea play him. And he's going to get on the contract. Even what is his name? Kante is looking for a contract because he knows that the whole football world knows he's prone to injury. And so they'll be careful coming in and paying all kind of money. Those players know. So that is why they are clinging to Chelsea, because Chelsea gives them all that money but don't expect the different results. And we say that, okay, we can change the manager, so we should give him a chance. These stories have been coming. We have been recycling these stories over and over and over again. We always have an excuse for these players. I am not necessarily blaming this coach, but I feel like for the first game where any coach needs to impress, one, and also that we needed a win, two, he has really let me down. He has let a lot of people down. And he better come in next time telling us that he's going to come in and let people at least give other people a chance, because he knew what he was going to get. He's not oblivious to what Chelsea does. Premier League is the best league in the world. The best six, the top six, whatever we do, all the other teams, the 14 other teams, watch us. And even people in other countries watch us. The coaches in other countries watch us. So Brian Potter cannot come in and Graham cannot come in and say that he doesn't know how Chelsea functions. The last week he would have figured out where our deficiencies, where do we suffer, and then he goes and plays the same players because he doesn't want a rancorous situation in a dressing room. It tells me he doesn't have any backbone, regardless of how much praise we have given him, because this is what he was coming here to correct. So I will sign off by saying this. I want him to succeed. I want my Chelsea to be amazing. We should stop saying that we cannot get the kinds of players we used to have 10, 15, 20 years ago. They are still there. It is just a pair of legs that people need to run. It is just a desire. Look at what Haaland is doing at Manchester City. He's just fitting in right there and he's playing. Look at what all these other great players in all these other great footballing teams are doing. We should stop this. We have invested enough money. Enough is enough. Let other players play. Let the players that think they can get away with it, sit them down. They are not being sacked. If you came into a workplace and somebody's not performing, you tell them, you know what, I'm going to try something. That doesn't mean you are being sacked. Being sacked is different. Asking them to go and play with a youth player, developing players, is something else. But telling them, sit down for a game or two, and let's see if these other people will fit with the speed that I need. I will sign off here. Thank you for the opportunity to vent my spleen, my spleen on these players. But I'm telling you this: if the next 2 weeks you bring the same old players, we know that we are doing.
You're gonna be already
exactly
out. All right.
I told you. I said in the comment when he selected the players. I was at work. I couldn't call him, but I could tell you. I told you that I was so mad.
Yeah.
Because I knew our game was going to be the same.
All right, Mr. Victor. Thank you for helping the channel, brother. Come back tomorrow. Drink some water. Have more ice cream.
And have a good night.
Thank you so much. Thank you, man. Whew, my goodness. That was something else, man. I'm sweating right now. I need a lot of water. And people, thank you so much for watching. Come back tomorrow. I don't know when. I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow. And we don't have a game for a couple of weeks now. But I will always find a way to entertain you and live streams and all that. So put your notification on. All I can tell you is it's just the first game for the new manager. I completely understand that people are angry, mostly because Thomas Tuchel was very popular and he's gone. So many people been waiting for a told you moment. It's not the manager, it's the player moment. But listen, we are Chelsea. We're supposed to support our team. I know many people really wanted even us to lose so they can make a point. They can say, I told you so. But listen, man, it's just the beginning of the project. There's nothing you can do about it. You can get mad. You can insult people. You can attack whoever you want. But it's not going to change a thing. Okay? So we're going to have to go. and support whoever is there. It's gonna be a painful event. I told you so. You have to be ready to support the team even in difficult moment. After the break, we're gonna have a very good team. I hope so, and we're gonna start winning some games. God bless you. Good night, good evening, good whatever time it is in your location. Put your notification on. Go on the Green Turf YouTube channel and watch some other cool videos over there. And follow me also on social media. I am on Twitter, Instagram, the same, Green Turf. YouTube channel also called Green Turf. That is our main channel. So if you go there, you're going to find, I already made my match review, you know. So go there and watch on the Green Turf YouTube channel. And follow me. I always follow people back. I don't have any ego because we are all the same people here. Nobody is bigger than nobody here. All right? So, listen. God bless you, man. It's just a game. Don't kill yourself because of a draw. I think we can still make it to the next round. Who knows? Maybe we were very complacent about the so-called small teams. Now we lost the first one, we drew the second one, and we're gonna play 2 games back-to-back with AC Milan. So who knows? Maybe we're gonna up the level of our performance because it's Milan. So I'm not gonna be surprised if we beat them away and also home. So stay positive, people, and I will see you next time. God bless.
Yeah. Unknown Brain. Marvin Devine. I'm saying bye to all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right, yet I was right by your side. You manipulator, playing games, your friends commentators, and I don't know what you say about our private conversations, but it's got them hating. Thanks to all the rumors you be claiming, it's cool, I'm done with you, so they can throw you a celebration. You gon' hate it when you see